Hello, boys and girls. How are you today? Pete and I are happy to be back for Circle Time. Today is Monday, March 23rd, 2020. Good morning, good afternoon, good night. We are going to be posting these up on the YouTube page, Over the Top Teacher, so that if you are sleeping in this morning, you can watch us a little bit later. So, how are you this morning, Pete?
I'm feeling good. How are the boys and girls feeling today?
Oh, I hope you're all feeling good. Go ahead and leave a comment with a thumbs up if you're feeling good today, or an emoji with some way that you might be feeling. Well, Pete, I thought we might sing a different song today. We normally sing the circle song, but I was thinking of a different song that would be fun for us. Are you ready to learn a new song? Okay. All right. If you are a student who goes to Wilson, you probably know this song because Mrs. Beck taught it to us. And it's called My Hat. Okay? So it goes like this. My hat, it has 3 corners. 3 corners has my hat. And had it not 3 corners, it would not be my hat. Does anybody from Wilson remember that song from Mrs. Beck when she taught us in music class? All right, we'll sing it one more time. Here we go. My hat, it has 3 corners. 3 corners has my hat. And had it not 3 corners, it would not be my hat. Can we take some words out? Do we know it well enough? Erase, 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 and take out the word corner. Here we go. My hat, it has 3 has my hat, and had it not 3, it would not be my hat. Erase, 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 and take out the word 3. Here we go. My hat, it has 3 has my hat, and had it not 3, it would not be my hat. I made a mistake. I said 3 when I shouldn't have. Okay, let's erase one more word. Erase, 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 and take out the word hat. Here we go. It has my, and had it not, it would not be my hat. Let's put them all back in and sing it from the beginning. Here we go. My hat, it has 3 corners. 3 corners has my hat. And had it not 3 corners, it would not be my hat. Oh, thank you for singing that new song with me today, boys and girls. Let's read our first book. Maisie's Morning on the Farm. Maisie is such a fun mouse. This book is written and illustrated by Lucy Cousins. There's the rooster telling everyone to wake up. Are you awake this morning, Fred? Maisie's Morning on the Farm, written and illustrated by Lucy Cousins. Maisie wakes up early. There is plenty of work to do on the farm. Would you like to drive that tractor, Atlas? First, Maisie feeds the chickens. She fills her bucket with corn. At my house, Tim and Sam feed the chickens. Here, chickens, come have your breakfast. The chickens are hungry. There's the hen. Shall we count the chicks, Bubba? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 chicks. Next, Maisie feeds the pigs. They're hungry. This is the sign for hungry. There's hungry. Oh, I see 2 piglets. Do you see the 2 piglets, Mackenzie? 1, 2. The sheep have lots of tasty grass to eat. How many sheep do we see, Isabel and Taven? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You counting them, Riley? It's time to milk the cow. Moo. I've never milked a cow. Have any of the boys and girls out there milked a cow? I've never done it. Squish, squish, squirt, squirt. Maisie fills the bucket with milk. The sign language sign for milk is milk. Like you're pretending to milk the cow. There it is. Now it's time for breakfast. Maisie puts cereal and milk in her bowl. What did you have for breakfast this morning, Catherine? Little black cat wants milk too. There's little black cat. Good work, Maisie. Have a great day. It's nice to see Maisie working hard on her farm, helping her family. Okay, we've got some phonics practice, some cards for us, and we have new ones. Here we go. Our first one is a rocket. Picture, rocket. The sound is R. We make the sign language R and we go up like a rocket. Ready? Picture, rocket, sound, spell, R, spell, W-R. Our next picture is an astronaut. Picture, astronaut. Sound is A, and we make the sign language sign A. And we spell it A. A says A. That's the short sound A makes. Picture, chalk. The sound is ch, like we're chopping something. Picture, chalk, sound ch. And we spell it C-H and we spell it T-C-H. This little line right there, that means it comes at the end of a word like match and patch. But we can also have C-H in the front like chop and cherry. Picture, helicopter. The sound is and I like to put my hand in front of my mouth so I can hear myself go and feel my breath on my hand. And we spell it H. Good practice with our phonics. Let's go through our cards one more time. Picture, rocket, sound, spell, R, spell, W-R. Picture, astronaut, sound, A, spell, A. Picture, chalk, sound, ch, spell C-H, spell T-C-H. Picture, helicopter, sound, spell H. Good job with the sound spelling cards this morning. Or this afternoon, whenever your family's watching it. Here's our next book, The Biggest Apple. Once there were two mice who fell in love with the same apple, but you had to be there to see how it happened. All right. This book is by Stephen Kroll and illustrated by Jenny Bassett. The Biggest Apple Ever. Oh, Avery, do you remember the sign for apple? I believe we took this. And we go in the back right here for apple. I have to double check that, but I'm pretty sure that's apple. All right. The Biggest Apple Ever by Stephen Kroll and illustrated by Jenny Bassett. Look at that apple pie. Okay. Once there were two mice who fell in love with the same apple pie, but you had to be there to see how it happened. There they are. They both have hearts on them. On opening day at Mouseville School, the principal, Mr. Mouser, made an announcement. We will be learning about apples this fall. To get things started, we will have a contest. Whoever brings in the biggest apple to his teacher will get a special prize. Ooh, that sounds like fun. The judging will take place on Friday. Good luck to everyone. Oh, this reminds me of Mrs. McCloud when she does our jokes in the morning. I have an apple tree in my backyard, said Penelope. I bet it has really big apples. There's an apple tree across from my house, said James. I'm going to climb it as soon as I get home. I don't have any apple trees, said Clayton, the house mouse, but I'm going to find Mrs. Mousley the biggest apple ever. No, you're not, said his friend Desmond, the field mouse. I am. Oh, yeah, said Clayton. Yeah, said Desmond. Everybody wants to win the contest. All the way home on the school bus, Clayton and Desmond talked about the contest. Maybe I could grow an apple tree with really big apples, said Clayton. It takes too long, said Desmond. I heard Mrs. Mousley say 6 years. I'll think of something, said Clayton. So will I, said Desmond. And yes, it's true. It takes a few years for apple trees to bear their fruit. Once they do, though, they give us some yummy apples. When Clayton got off the bus, he sneaked back into town to see what Penelope and James were up to. Penelope had come down from her tree. She was carrying 2 tiny apples. There's Penelope at her tree. Do you see her, Malachi? James was still up in the tree across the street. He was picking very small apples. Clayton knew he'd seen bigger ones at the market. When Desmond came by a little later, he realized the same thing. The next day at school, Penelope and James brought in their tiny apples. No one else had brought in anything. Mrs. Mousley cleared her throat. Class, we have a lot of work to start the year, but because we are learning about apples and having an apple contest, we will go to Barnaby's orchard this afternoon. Everyone got very excited. Wow, a field trip right at the beginning of the year. What a brave teacher. I'm going to find the winning apple, said Clayton. I'm going to find the winning apple, said Desmond. There's lots of apples in the classroom. At the orchard, Mrs. Mousley pointed out the different kinds of apples. Then everyone disappeared into the trees looking for a winner. Clayton walked down one row, craning his neck. Desmond walked down another row, craning his neck. Then Clayton saw what he thought was a really big apple. It was a little too high to reach, but he stretched for it. Oh, good stretch. At that moment, Desmond saw the very same apple on the very same branch. He stretched for it too. They bumped heads and fell down. I think we should bring this apple in together, said Clayton. No one said we couldn't, said Desmond. Oh, I'm glad they found a way to get along and cooperate. But when they got back to the bus, James had an apple that was even bigger. The apple was so big he could hardly carry it. I wonder which one is James with the heavy apple. Clayton and Desmond looked at each other. What would they do now? A lot of apples. That night at dinner, Clayton explained the problem to his dad. Said Dad. Apples don't come in too many sizes. Do you think you'll find a bigger one? I don't know, said Clayton. Then maybe James will win the prize this time. It's okay if he does. Oh, we don't like it when other people win sometimes, but Dad is right. It is okay if other people win. Over at Desmond's house, Uncle Vernon said exactly the same thing. But Clayton and Desmond were still determined. The next afternoon they met at Barnaby's orchard. They picked 2 huge baskets of apples, but nothing they found was bigger than the apple James had picked. You know, Clayton said, I think Dad was right. This time James gets to win. But we've got all these apples. Why don't we bake an apple pie? Bake a big apple pie. Desmond laughed. Great! Let's bake the biggest apple pie ever, and we'll make it for our class. Clayton nodded. And I think I know where we'll find a pie pan that's big enough. What a great idea to share with everyone in the class. I wonder where they're going to find the pan. Do you know where they're going to find the pan, Atlas? The following afternoon, Desmond arrived at Clayton's house with Uncle Vernon. Everything's packed up and ready, Clayton said. It's all in Dad's truck. But where are we going? Desmond asked. You'll find out in a minute, said Clayton. I wonder where they're going, Fred. Do you have an idea? I have no clue, Avery, where they're going. Dad drove with Clayton and Desmond beside him in the front seat. Uncle Vernon stayed in the back with the apples and the other ingredients for the giant pie. As they came around the corner, Desmond gasped, It's Tony's Pizza! Of course, said Clayton. What could be better than a giant pizza pan? Did you think they were going to a pizza parlor, Sam? I didn't. I was surprised by that. Mr. Tony greeted them at the door. Welcome, welcome. We are ready to begin. And so they got to work, making the dough for the crust, kneading it, and rolling it out half into a big circle, and spreading it over the deep dish pan. Then everyone peeled and sliced the apples and mixed together the sugar and spices and spread the rest of the dough on top. Wow, said Clayton and Desmond when they were finished. Wow, wow, wow. An hour, said Mr. Tony. Give me an hour. The giant pan just fit in his huge oven. That is a giant apple pie. Lots of stuff happening in that picture at Tony's Pizza. The next day was Friday. Who would have the largest apple? James, of course, and Mr. Mouser handed him the prize, a cheddar cheese apple. Oh, that's funny, because we would have a chocolate apple for a prize, but mice would want a prize made of cheese. Mrs. Mousley looked surprised. Clayton, Desmond, nothing from you. The two of them grinned. At the same moment, the classroom door flew open. In came Clayton's dad, Uncle Vernon, and Mr. Tony, struggling to carry the giant pie all by themselves. Looks like a heavy pie. How wonderful, said Mrs. Mousley. This is the biggest apple pie ever. We made it for the whole class, said Clayton. All for us together, said Desmond. They shared a high five, and everyone in the class had a very big slice. What a great idea to use those apples to make a pie and share with friends. That was very clever of Desmond and Clayton. Okay, we have some high frequency words. We've got a new one, 2 new ones this morning, okay? Our first one is because. Because. B-E-C-A-U-S-E. You're probably going to hear this a lot, but Mom and Dad are going to say, because I said so. We wash our hands because we want the germs to go away. The word is because. That's a big outlaw word. Practice finding that in your books. Our next outlaw word is before. B-E-F-O-R-E. Word before. We wash our hands before we eat. Before. All right, let's go over some of our old ones. Have. H-A-V-E. Have. Avery, do you remember the sign? Atlas? Have. Good job. Next one is hear. H-E-A-R. I hear the children singing. H-E-A-R, word, hear, hear. See how ear is in there? Our next word is hear. Wait a minute. Did you catch that, Isabel and Mackenzie? These words both sound the same. Hear, hear. We have to know what they are by how they look with their letters. This one has the word ear in it, and it means you hear with your ear. This hear means we are all here this morning. We are all here. H-E-R-E, here. Practice finding those words. They're tricky. And our last word is down. I like this one. Elsie and Jillian and I, we like this one because we go like this. A D-O-A-W-N, and that's the way to get down. Yeah. Here it is. A D-O-A-W-N, and that's the way to get down. Well, I think we have time for one more book. Would you like one more book before we say goodbye?
Math or no math?
How about I have two books here. Let's do Maisie's Dresses Up. Maisie Dresses Up. Okay. Here we go. Maisie theme today. This book is by Lucy Cousins. Mouse theme today too. Maisie has been invited to Tallulah's costume party. What a nice invitation. What will Maisie be? She looks in her dress-up box. What do you like to dress up like, Riley? I like to dress up like a lot of things. She could be a pirate, but Charlie is already dressed as a pirate. She could be a queen, but Eddie is already dressed up like a king. She could be a firefighter, but Cyril is already dressed up as a firefighter. So many fun things to dress up like, Isabel. Maisie has a good idea. She will make her own special costume. Do you think that's a good idea, Uriah? What about you, Mason? We can make costumes out of anything. Charlie, Eddie, and Cyril are already at Tallulah's house when... See what happens. The doorbell rings. In comes a zebra. Oh, it's Maisie. Hello, everyone. It's party time. What will you dress up today as, Mallory? Maybe a cowgirl? Maybe a princess? All right, lots of things to dress up as. I have my crown on today. You could dress up like a teacher even. I wonder what a teacher looks like. All right, so today's activity before we say goodbye is a little bit from math. And I wonder if any of you in your houses have some of these around. Some dominoes. Can you give me a thumbs up if you have some dominoes in your houses? Yeah, we've been cleaning, and I found a couple of sets, and I think we might have lost a few pieces, so we're going to use our dominoes in a different way. So here's some dominoes. Dominoes can be all kinds of colors. So with your dominoes, you can take a piece of paper. You can put your domino up in the corner. Count your dots on each half. So we have the dots on this side. How many dots are there? That's right, 7 dots on this side. And then we have the dots over here. How many dots do we see there? Of course, we see 2. And then, so practicing our addition, we can say 7 plus 2 is, you got it, 9. When you're playing your dominoes and doing your domino math, make sure you practice saying the math equation, 7 plus 2. And then you can change out the domino for this one or another one. 3 plus 7. Oh, that's a fast 10. 3 plus 7 is 10. So that's a great way to use dominoes today for an activity and practice your counting. Another activity, if you want to take your dominoes to the next level, somebody like Mallory who's really fast at her counting and adding, Mallory, our other kiddos, can go to the next level and add up the numbers for 2 dominoes. And this time I wrote my math equation vertical, stacking the numbers up. So I'm counting my dots. 3 plus 4 plus 9 plus 0. Take the time, add it up, count the dots, and come up with the answer. If you're using dominoes to practice your addition and your counting, would you post a picture, send it to me, message it to me? We have the Facebook page, Over the Top Teacher is live now, so you can do that, or on my private wall or messenger. We're all over the place on social media trying to stay connected. We love you. Stay safe. And please remember to wash your hands. Keep them nice and clean. And don't touch your face. Nasty germs cannot be seen. I love you, boys and girls. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.